Hello and welcome. So this week I'm doing something a little different. I've had a lot of requests from family and friends regarding LinkedIn and using LinkedIn effectively to apply for jobs. So I'm going to take you through how that looks and the things you need to be aware of when you are applying for jobs on LinkedIn and what you need to think about before you even think about applying for a job in LinkedIn. For example, you need to have a look at your profile. You need to update your profile, make sure your about is correct, make sure that you're um, putting posts on featured and things like that. But I'll show you that very quickly. I'm going to share my screen and show you how to do that. So hopefully you can follow along. And if you have any questions, just give me a shout, whether you're on LinkedIn or you can email me, whatever it takes. Just give me a shout. I'm happy to help. No problem at all. So bear with me while I share my screen. Okay. So here we are in LinkedIn. We're on my home page. So the first thing, before you even think about getting a job or applying for a job, is you need to go to your profile and you need to have a look at your about. Make sure your about looks good. You can always edit it if you need to. What you want to do is, if you're applying for a job, is certainly turn on your open to work. Now, you don't have to put on the one with the big green circle around you, but if you put it on your open to work, that it's not that big green circle, recruiters will know that you're available and they will look at your profile automatically. Again, you should have your about section all up to date. You update this if it's not. Certainly your um, work experience should all be up to date. If it's not, fix it. You can decide whether or not you want to do it by points so that it looks like a resume, and think about doing that, especially if you're going to apply using LinkedIn, or you can just do a summary for your positions. It's entirely up to you, but just make sure everything is there. If you post items, make sure that you remember to pin those items so as they're featured. So I have several posts of mine linked in as a featured here. So you can add your posts here so as they are appear under this featured section. And so once you have, say I look at this post here, and I have a look at it, I click in and say, I just click this here and see the featured on top of your profile. That's all you have to do so someone can see one of your posts. Now, a lot of people feel very intimidated when they're posting things on LinkedIn. And what I would say to you is search for articles that relate to your business. Then post those articles and comment on them. Until you get your confidence going, that's the best way to start posting. And you have to remember that the majority of people on LinkedIn are not posting. It's not like Instagram. It's not like Facebook. It's not like any of those things. Most people are not posting. So if you are actually adding value, and that's the most important thing, is that you add value when you post, and you start posting items, you're going to automatically stand out. It's going to be fantastic. So that's one of the things. You start posting, you fix up your profile, put on the open to if you want, make sure all your skills are there. Make sure you have all these things ready to go before you apply to any job. You need to do that. So again, get your homework done first, get all these things put in, and then you're ready for the next stage, which is actually to start looking for the job. So when you decide you want to look for a position, you can click in here under jobs and you can start doing a search. Once you start applying, I was playing around with that's why I've got recent searches in here. But once you start applying and you go to My Jobs, you will see the ones that you've saved. Now, I recommend saving jobs so you can apply to them later if you don't have time. But don't let them sit there for long, because someone else is going to apply and get the job if you don't. You need to act fast. That's why you get all your homework done in advance. Is you've got your ones in progress, the ones you've applied for, archived, everything else. I haven't done a whole lot in a long time because I've started my own company, so this doesn't really relate to me. But if you do, start in the jobs and start, say, looking for a position. So say I'm looking for a software engineering job. So I put this in here. I can automatically set the alert on, and it'll show me all of them coming up right now. But that's just too much, right? That's just too much information. So what you can do is you can choose your position, and you can show 30,000 of those. You can set that alert on. You can have a look at the salary that you're looking for. Now it's entry level, so it's going to be not that much. So 60 plus. So, and so on. And LinkedIn is very smart. Once you put in the type of job you're looking for, it will come up with popular companies. So if you want to look at all these companies, you can just literally choose what, if you only want to apply for that. So there's 43 level entry jobs, 60,000 plus for SpaceX right now. That's just an example. And again, what you want, whether you want it on site, hybrid, on remote. And I will put a note here. When you check remote, a lot of people, when they post positions, they will have hybrid listed as a remote, which of course we all know is not. There's a big difference between hybrid and remote. So if you are only looking for remote, I would recommend that you really review the positions that are coming up, and whether or not they are truly remote or not. And this tab here, this is the easy apply. And if you put that on, that means you're only going to be shown positions that are accepting through easy apply. Easy apply is the LinkedIn way of just automatically sending in your application. And that's when you really want your profile to be absolutely perfect, because that's what you're using to apply. You can go through here and look at all the features, all the filters, and select any that that relate to you. But whatever you decide, once you have it, you can set that alert. And so that alert is now on. No, so say I don't want to just look for software engineers, say I want to look for project management as well. There's nothing stopping you having multiple alerts on, right? And again, you mightn't want, let's pretend this one isn't entry level, it's associate, and you're looking for 120 plus, and there's 492 there. And again, you can set that alert on for that. So this alert is now on. I've now got 2 alerts on. But here's the thing, when you have an alert on, it's no good if you don't have your notifications letting you know about those positions, right? So the next thing you need to do is check your notifications. So let's have a look here. You click the notifications icon on the top and you go in here. Let's have a look here. And the notifications we're talking about, there's so many notifications on LinkedIn. And if you've never been in here, I highly recommend you come in, have a look, and see what way your notifications are being sent. A common problem that people have is when people send them a message, they don't get a notification or they don't get an email. So, I mean, that's a really easy thing to do. I have my notifications on, I have my push-ins on, and I also get an email, right? So it's really up to you how you handle your notifications. But when you're searching for a job, you want to make sure this is on and that you have your in-app applications on. You can stick this push on. That'll just give you a little notification on your device to let you know that a new job has appeared, and they're just the job alerts for the saved jobs. So again, you can put in an email if something comes up about the saved job, and so on. But I personally like to have my email on and get an email if there's a new job that matches my saved searches. So right now I've got a couple of saved searches going on there, and I have my notifications on. So I shouldn't miss anything, right? That's the idea. You don't want to miss anything. So I'm just going to come back to my home page here. So I'm going to have a look. I go to my jobs and here we have my recent searches, new. It's telling me there's 27 there. Now, say I'm going to the software engineering. This is the next thing I recommend you do when you're applying for a job. Have a look at the position, right? If it's something you're definitely interested in, save this, okay? Not only do you save it, you print it off and save it on your desktop. You should have either desktop or the cloud, but you should have a folder for applied um, positions. And I recommend that you save the job description. And also, if you aren't using Easy Apply, if you're using a resume, that you also save the resume you used to apply to that job. Another thing you're going to do before you send in your application is you're going to review this and you're going to make sure that on the job responsibilities and the requirements that you have the well, obviously I only have one skill in this, but you have the qualifications they're looking for. So you're going to edit your resume to make sure that those keywords are in your resume, or else they're not even getting past the AI filter. I mean, forget it. Your resume is not going anywhere. So you edit your resume, not that you're falsifying the information, but what you're making sure is everybody puts things in a different way. They use a different turn of phrase for the same things. So you just make sure that you have this, your information documented the way this company is expecting it to see. So you definitely change your resume for every application and you save that resume in the folder after you apply. And off you go and apply. And then at least you have a record. Now, you're looking for, I would recommend a 10% hit rate is really good. So for every 10 you apply for, you hear one back. And that takes effort. Looking for a job is a job. I mean, without a doubt, it takes time to do this, to go through the ones you're interested in. If you don't have time right now, save it. Do not leave anything saved for longer than a day. Apply to it. And make sure that that you edit your resume for each one before you apply it. Now, if there's an option, not everybody has an option of adding a cover letter, again, I would hit in your key points there. Hit in like why you're perfect for this job, just not generic. Actually read what they're looking for and highlight what it is they're looking for that you actually have and put that in your cover letter. I mean, it's all about making their job easier and helping them find you easier. One of the things in the filters I'd also recommend is if you go down here, they have a few here. One is called under 10 applicants, and this is fantastic. If you put that on, it's going to show you all the positions that have less than 10 people applying for. So this has automatically, you're here right now looking for a position. This is definitely bringing you top of the list. If you've got 10 or under people applying for a job, definitely it gives you a better chance of getting that job. Now, another one is your in network, another great feature to use. So if a company is looking for, is hiring and someone in your network is in that company, they're going to be highlighted to you. But that's an automatic way of, you know, talking to that person. If you already have a connection, it's awesome. Who knows? They may have a referral program in the company and that person could recommend you for that position. So that's a really good one to put on as well. And the other thing I would highly recommend when you're applying for a position is a lot of the time, but not all the time, you will find the recruiting manager in there. And when you are applying for the job, think about reaching out to who the hiring manager is on LinkedIn and have a little chat with them. And if you don't have premium, I would recommend getting premium just for that, if nothing else. So that's a quick, speedy thing on using LinkedIn to apply for jobs, updating your profile, the most important things, saving the jobs you go for is so important because when you're applying for 5 or 10 jobs a day, you're not going to remember what all the jobs were and you're not going to remember what your resume said. So save those off because if you go to an interview or you get called for an interview and you're like, oh, I don't remember what that job was, you've now just gone to the bottom of their list. And this is someone who used to work in human resources, in recruitment. So you really want to put yourself out forward in the best possible way at every opportunity. So again, thank you for joining me for this very, very speedy LinkedIn demo on applying for new jobs. I hope you find it useful and have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye bye.